What up, YouTube? Once again, it's your boy JL, and I decided to do another blog about some of the things that I think about. But this one is going to be entitled, Most People's Births Are Accidental. That's something that I thought about years back, and I find it funny because whenever I present that as a question to most people, they get in denial about it. But it's something that should be commonsensical. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody, even if you're like financially stable and you can have kids and take care of them, most people that get pregnant, that shit is accidental. And I would say it's probably like 85%, and to me that's a modest number because I believe really that it's higher. But just for those who may disagree without really thinking about it, I'm gonna say 85%. You know what I'm saying? Most people get together, they do their thing or whatever, whether it's a fling or somebody that you've been with, and then they end up getting pregnant, but the shit is not planned. And that's one of the reasons, not to get off topic, but that's one of the reasons I don't believe that anybody's birth was divine or planned, because there's too many variables, there's too many factors that plays a part. Nobody is born out of the air. Everything goes through a fucking process, and nothing, whether it's a being, a person, a thing, or whatever, nothing is exempt from a process. Everything has to go through some shit in order to come into being. That's just how phenomenons work. You know what I'm saying? And then if you really think about it further, even if somebody was out there and they was trying to have a shorty or a baby or whatever, when a man ejaculates, this is a fact, there are millions and millions of sperm cells, and when they enter the female's body, her body rejects most of those sperm cells. So basically they're going through a process as well, and then one of the sperm cells make it to the oval, and then it fully goes through the process of becoming an embryo, then a fetus, and then later on, coming out as a undeveloped human being or whatever. But it still goes through a fucking process. And how can somebody say that their birth was planned when you got millions of fucking sperm cells doing a random ejaculation when somebody just basically doing their thing? You see what I'm saying? So all this shit, most people are accidental. And again, even if your birth was planned, you made it to this motherfucker by luck. You survived, you know what I'm saying, doing the travel of going into a woman's body. That's just a plain fucking fact. No way that you can refute that. So this is a blog that I wanted to talk about stuff like that on. It's real short, you know what I'm saying, because it's really, you don't really need to go into so much detail. You don't really need to get so thorough on it. Like, I was gonna save this point for my next blog, but I figure it's really unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? And because I be thinking like that, most people, they kind of misunderstand me. I'm talking about from all fucking perspectives. Some people a lot of people be thinking like, okay, you must be a fucking atheist or something. I am not an atheist. I do believe in a higher power. I think that's undeniable. The fact that even though we have so much accumulated knowledge about nature, there's so many aspects that scientists haven't really fully grasped. Even Einstein himself, who was considered one of the greatest modern minds. So to me, in my mind, nature is God. And I humble myself by saying there's a lot of shit that we don't know pertaining to nature. But at the same time, nothing skips the process of fucking nature. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's about it for so far for this blog. But my next two major blogs. First one I'm gonna do about atheism, basically, and that's just to make sure people get it in their fucking heads that I'm not an atheist. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do agree with a lot of shit they say as far as emotional instability and people needing to psychologically believe in certain shit, but I disagree with them when they say there's no such thing as a higher power, and then some of their philosophies that I think could be considered a selfish approach to reality. So I got a lot of thoughts pertaining to that, and I really I've been supposed to do that blog, but it's just so much shit that I think about and so much that I want to add to it. I got enough ammunition for it, but when I do that blog, I want it to come out correct. You know, it's not gonna be. I don't want to say it's gonna be super scholarly, but every blog I do, every major blog I do, I try to make it to where you can't refute the shit I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So when that blog come out, it's gonna be real interesting. The foundation that I'm gonna argue against in terms of atheism is Christopher Hitchens' book, because I think he's like one of the most prominent atheists out there. So I think that's a good way to start that. And then again, hopefully when I do that blog, people get it through their heads. I'm not a fucking atheist. I'm not religious either, but I am not an atheist. And then after that, I'm gonna do another major blog giving my opinion on Satanism. So there's a whole bunch of topics out there that I'm gonna touch on. You know what I'm saying? So be on the lookout for that. But to sum this all up, nobody's, or the vast majority of people, their birth was not fucking planned. You can almost tie in the atheist idea on this one, because certain atheists say, like, when people talk about God, it's like, it's more egotistical, basically, the way they put it, because they say, like, humans try to make everything about them. And that is true to an extent. And the fact that most people can't accept the truth that their birth was not fucking planned, I think is a good example of that. So that's it. You know, y'all have a good night, and I'll talk to y'all next time.